Hello, this is a new video I'm putting out. Several requests came in from family members and stuff, so they want to learn how to make bread. So this first part is going to show you what I do to mix everything up, and hopefully I might be able to turn this into a Bible lesson too. So let's begin. First, we start out with 1 packet of dry yeast here. So we'll get our scissors here. We just open the top up here, and we dump this in here. Now, next thing we do is we get 2 cups of extremely hot water. This way we dissolve the yeast first. Okay, then we just pour it in here, like so. We'll set that off to the side. We'll get our wooden spoon here. We just kind of stir it in here, making sure the yeast is all nice and dissolved. And presto. Now, we get our 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I use stick butter. So just pour this right in here. I already had this pre-measured, and it makes it life a lot easier. Okay, this here is, let me think here. 4 teaspoons of salt, 4 tablespoons of sugar. Normally it only calls for 2 of each, but I found out over the years doing this, it's better this way, doing 4 and 4. And I already got this pre-measured, so we just dump that in there. And now we just kind of stir this around a little bit, dissolve everything together here. Just like so. I'll take our 2 cup measuring cup again. Get in our handy dandy little bowl here of our flour. You can see I've already been making bread. I've already got 1 set of dough raising right now, because I got a lot of friends and families wanting bread, so I'm making a lot today. Alright, there's our first 2 cups of flour. Make sure all this flour's out. So now we just kind of fold it. I don't exactly stir it, but I kind of like folding it. This way it kind of gets blended in together. But this is just the first 2 cups. I normally use about 4 in here, then the other about 1.5 cups or so when I'm out kneading it for about 15 minutes or so. It doesn't have to be really precise, just mostly when it gets, you'll be able to feel it kind of get a little dry and rubbery feeling. And if your dough still feels kind of sticky, then add another little bit of flour. Okay, so since I'm going to get more flour, get in the bag here, get my big spoon. We add the next 2 cups of flour. That in there. Dump this in here. Alright, set that off. Now we fold the other 2 in here. Now when it starts to get really starting to take shape here like it is right now, see, let's do this 1 couple more times here. Okay, you see how that's kind of nice, getting nice and clumpy? This is usually about the time when you want to dump it on your bread bowl or breadboard and start kneading it out. But what I found out too, just is if you add extra 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil to this right now, and then you mix it in together. Make sure. Okay, let me set this behind here. Alright, see? Just kind of dump it in there. Then we just go, kind of then start folding the olive oil in. Not to mention doing it this way too is when you put the dough back in here to rise, it won't stick to the other sides to your mixing bowl here. You want to blend it in really well before you go and start kneading it. I think that's about good. Now, put a couple good couple good spoons there. Kind of mesh it around a little bit. Not to mention what the olive oil being in, extra virgin olive oil being in there, it makes it easier coming out and everything. So, and I usually put one more on top after getting it on top, on the bottom there, and you kind of gently kind of mash it out there to where it's flat, like so, and then you kind of fold it in over itself a couple of times. And then you just, what the excess you already got down here, then you just kind of start rolling it back and forth here for a while. For me, I know, generally the rule of thumb is you want to knead this out for 15 minutes. But for me, like I said before, I just knead it out until it comes to like a dry feeling. And see like how this is starting to kind of stick a little bit here. So I just go ahead and throw a little bit more on here, like so, and then kind of flatten it out. Yeah, this is starting to turn out to be pretty good. I looked it up the other day, and there is almost 200 verses in the Bible that talks about bread. And you want to think that, you know, if you have something in there that many times, it's pretty important to understand what this bread's representing. It's representing the bread is the body of the church. It takes time for it to grow. You know, whenever you're kneading it out like this and everything like that, you begin with the humble beginnings of the ingredients, and then God comes in and He puts His hands on us and He starts kind of molding us around and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a lesson to be learned here if you want to put the legs to it. Because I've given this a great deal of thought. We are all bread. God's making us and kneading us. And when He finally decides, like, okay, like it is now, it's molded, it's still pliable. Now we got to let it sit there and raise. It's like He's teaching us. He put His ingredients, His word from the Bible. And so, and this is us, the dough. Now, since he put His word, He put His breath into it, He puts us back into the mold. Now, He lets us raise. So, that's the first part of the video. Thank you very much. And I'll see you in a few minutes.